All right, Patriots, moving on to page 3. Just like in the two videos before this, if you're looking for a particular problem on 19 through 26, then we are going to look down in the description below, and I've got all the timestamps for each problem of where those start. That way you can snap straight to it. Number 19, the measures of each interior angle of a regular polygon is 171. Find the number of sides of the polygon. Remember, our formula for that is n minus 2 times 180 divided by the number of sides. Now, there's two ways you could do this. You could start plugging in numbers into n and just guess and check until you get there. However, the more mathematically proper way of doing it is to set that equal to 171 and then solve. I'm going to do it this way to give us more practice on our algebra skills. Now, first off, we got this n on bottom. We're going to multiply by n on both sides. These two are going to divide out, leaving me 171n on the right. I'm also going to distribute this 180, giving me 180n minus 360 equals 171n. From this point, I need to collect all of my n's onto the right-hand side. 360 equals, subtract 180n from 171, gives me negative 9n. Divide both sides by negative 9 gives me 40 equals n. So that is a 40-sided polygon or a 40gon. Number 20. In this parallelogram, we've got the measure of angle 1 is x plus 12. The measure of angle 2 is 6x minus 18. We want to know the measure of angle 1. Well, again, these are parallel. And if I think of AC as a transversal line, these two are alternate interior angles. Therefore, they are equal to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and set them equal. X plus 12 equals 6x minus 18. Collect all my x's on the right. Since the 6x is bigger, that gives me 5x. Subtracted x here and here. We're also going to add 18. 12 plus 18 is 30. Then divide both sides by 5, gives me 6 equals x. But keep in mind, it wants us to know the measure of angle 1, so we're going to substitute this 6 in here, and 6 plus 12 gives me 18. So my answer here is 18. All right, number 21, find the measure of each exterior angle of a regular 45gon. I mentioned that back in the first page video that we're going to need this formula later. So all we do is we take 360 and then divide it by 45. The reason for that is that the sum of the exterior angles of any convex polygon is always going to be 360. Just divide by the number of angles. So 360 divided by 45 is 8 degrees. So it's 8 degrees. Fairly simple one. Now number 22. In a parallelogram ABCD. Now in this case, it's important to draw it correctly. We got to go around the outside. Don't jump back and forth across. Go all the way around clockwise. So if angle A is 58 degrees, find the measure of angle B. We know that consecutive angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. So this is going to add to 180. All we do is subtract from 180 minus 58. Gives me 122 degrees. All right, number 23. For quadrilateral ABCD, the slope of AB is 1/4. All right, if it's 1/4, that means it's growing slightly that way. So there's AB. Slope of BC is negative 2/3, so it's going to be going down. I guess let's do it that way, and that way. There's C and D. Here the slope is 1/4. Here the slope is negative 2/3. For CD, it's again 1/4. What's the slope, or find the slope of DA? Well, DA, in order for this one to be a parallelogram, it must be parallel to BC. So the slope there has to be negative 2/3. Number 24. We have this rectangle. Find the value of x. Well, we're going to take advantage of the fact that we know that each angle of a rectangle is 90 degrees. So these two are complementary. They have to add to 90. So 3x minus 30 plus 2x plus 10, add those together and we get 90. Combine like terms gives me 5x. Negative 30 plus 10 is minus 20. Now add 20 to both sides. It gives me 5x equals 110. Divide by 5, and that gives me 22. So the value of x is 22. For number 25, we've got the trapezoid MNOP. We want the measure of angle MNQ. Well, it tells me it's an isosceles trapezoid, so those two are equal. And I know that in an isosceles trapezoid, base angles are equal, so angle M and P will be congruent, so this is 59 degrees. Now, since this is a right angle, then I can just subtract 90 and 59 from 180 to find the measure of angle MNQ. So 180 minus 90 minus, forget the measure, 59, and we're at 31 degrees. All right, last problem for the page. The length of the median of a trapezoid, so let's draw us a trapezoid with a median, is 13 feet, and the other bases have lengths of 2x plus 4 and 10x minus 50. Now, when I do problems like this, I usually get every now and then have a student who wants to know, what if I put those on the wrong places? What if this should have been 10x minus 50 and this should have been 2x plus 4? Honestly, it does not matter. The formula will work out the same either way, since in the formula we are adding these two together. Now, our formula is the median is 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2. See here, it doesn't matter if I was to do base 2 plus base 1, it still comes out the same. So we're going to plug in 13 equals 1/2 times base 1, 2x plus 4, plus base 2 is 10x minus 50. Let's consolidate some stuff here. 2x plus 10x is 12x, and 4 minus 50 is minus 46. Now let's distribute the 1/2. 13 equals 1/2 times 12x is 6x, and 1/2 times negative 46 is negative 23. Now we're going to add 23 to both sides, and I'm going to jump over this way because I ran out of room. If I add 13 plus 23, let's see, 13, I'm having problems with my mental math today. That is 36 equals 6x. Divide both sides by 6, and I get x equals 6.